second half underway. And of the two sides, Tbilisi will feel happier at this halfway point because Spartak Moscow, the current Soviet League leaders, were expected to make easy meal of this match. It hasn't turned out that way. And Tbilisi have had their chances too in the opening 45 minutes. No doubt stern words have been exchanged in the Spartak Moscow dressing room at half-time with Roman Chaff, the 40-year-old Spartak Moscow coach, former first-team player here. But Spartak Moscow in white have seemed sluggish. And they haven't had that many memorable efforts on the Tbilisi goal. Here they are again as they build from deep inside their own half of the field. Pasulko. Cherenkov, the captain. All pretty, but Spartak Moscow unable to make it count, although here's an opening down the right for Kulkov. Keep the ball in play, that is. Reveshvili manages to get the ball out. Morozov, newcomer to the Spartak side. He's no newcomer, is he? 36 years old. Otar Gabalia. Boki will take the throw then for Spartak Moscow. Schreiber gets it clear. The header in was by Pasulko, who had taken a piece of extraordinary acrobatics by Cherenkov to get his head on the ball. But Boki has been used for the long throw on a couple of occasions. Well, there seems no obvious target in the Spartak Moscow side. Somebody who might be able to flick the ball on or head it goalwards. Pasulko hardly the tallest player on the field. Here's Reveshvili then for Tbilisi. Chikavani. Ketsbaya. Reveshvili. Ketsbaya. They've got in each other's way a bit. Reveshvili. Chechesov had to be down smartly to that one. And when you compare the two strike forces of Spartak Moscow and Tbilisi, Ketsbaya and Reveshvili seem a lot more potent than their Spartak Moscow opponents. Men playing at front for them, Shalimov and Rodionov, have hardly made an impact today. Although Reveshvili's shot there not too far away. Still 0-0 though. Basulev. There's David Kipiani, centre of the picture, a former Tbilisi player who played in that Cup Winners' Cup winning side in 81. His career cut short when he broke a leg against Real Madrid in a pre-season friendly match. And to sit and watch on the sidelines whilst his side make a very good job of holding the current Soviet League leaders, Spartak Moscow. I think they have to be 10 yards from the ball. I think the rules are the same in the Soviet League. I think they're going to scrum ground in a minute, aren't they? Gabalia just checking that his defensive wall is correctly positioned. Pasulko. Oh, I say, that was not too far away. It's still loose inside the box before Chikavani gets it clear. Pasulko. An enterprising free kick to say the least, the way it was just flicked up, and it was Cherenkov who flicked it up onto the knee of Pasulko. And how about that for a volley? I think in fairness, Gabalia made it look far more spectacular than it was. It was not quite straight at him, but he made a meal of it. Looked spectacular though. Pasulko has been brought down again by the midfield player Tbilisi Chidia. And Chidia is going to get a yellow card for that challenge. He brought Pasulko down in full flight, and he's paid the price for it. Perhaps more importantly, Spartak Moscow have another free kick in a very similar position to the one where Pasulko struck that splendid effort just a couple of minutes ago. Well, they're on their feet here in the Lenin Stadium. Let's see what Spartak Moscow can do with this free kick. They'll try it again. Not enough. Oh. The goalkeeper again knocked it over. Not bad for an old man, is he? Corner then to Spartak. It's a poor one. Reveshvili gets it clear. Chidia. Shanadze, or rather Reveshvili, brought down by Boki on the edge of the penalty area. Just over an hour gone of this match, still 0-0. Apart from those two free kicks which Spartak Moscow have had, Tbilisi can say they're comfortably holding the league leaders. And now Tbilisi have a free kick on the edge of the Spartak box. Big day out for Tbilisi from the Georgian province. Chidia will take the free kick. Reveshvili straight into the wall. Chikivani. Fullback trying his luck from long range. Pozniakov then brings it away for Spartak Moscow. Pasulko. Shalimov. Cherenkov. Onto his left foot if he can eventually get there. Left the ball behind. Gotchitchashvili. Chikivani. Tbilisi seem to be playing with even more confidence than they seem to appear to do in the first half. Shalimov, here's half a yard for him. Pasulko. Reveshvili. Gotchitchashvili, Reveshvili. I think Boki made a meal of the challenge. It's a free kick anyway. Rodinov. Cherenkov. Gotchitchashvili. Well, he's got support. He's round Basulev. He's round Pasulko. And he scored! Oh, I say! Tbilisi have taken the lead. And Gotchitchashvili has given it to them. He ran fully 50 yards with the ball before delivering an unstoppable shot past Cherchesov. And that has to be an extraordinary goal no matter what league you play in. No wonder they're delighted, the Tbilisi team. They can hardly believe it. 1-0 Tbilisi lead. And look at the finish by Gotchitchashvili. Round Basulev, round Pasulko. It's Spartak Moscow 0, Tbilisi 1. Stadium, because the league leaders playing in white are struggling against the side fifth from bottom of the Soviet Supreme League. The goal was scored just after an hour by Kahi Gotchichashvili after he ran over half the length of the field to deliver an unstoppable shot past the Spartak keeper Stanislav Cherchesov. There is Cherchesov, and he's under pressure again because Tbilisi have a free kick now. Ketashvili will knock it to Svenadze. And don't be at all surprised to see Tbilisi resting on their laurels now, because this would be an extraordinary result by any stretch of the imagination. Tbilisi have basically rebuilt their side in the last 12 to 18 months. They accept that their youngsters will take time to knit together, and their hope this season was just to stay in the first division. Fifth from bottom, nobody expected them to actually beat the Soviet League leaders today. Although there are hopes that this Tbilisi side in years to come can perhaps go some way of matching the exploits of the great Tbilisi sides of the early 1980s. It's probably too much to hope that Tbilisi will actually take the game now to Spartak Moscow and look for a second goal. But who knows? Spartak Moscow certainly going to have to come out now and chase the game. At the moment we've got two teams both kicking one way, because Tbilisi are happy to get their ball back to their goalkeeper as often as possible to try defend their lead. But it's Spartak Moscow with Pasulko now. Reveshvili, Kecharava, Boki, Pasulko. Tbilisi have a man injured inside the centre circle. The referee Viktor Pjanic is going to stop the game. Just check that Sviber is okay, the giant central defender, despite the number 8 he wears on his back. Sloppy play by Spartak Moscow. I think the look on Pozniakov's face was positively Siberian. Kulkov then with a throw. Borosov. Basulev. Kuznetsov. Cherenkov. Oh, lovely turn. The captain is denied by his opposite captain, Otar Gabalia. Cherenkov turned magnificently, bent the ball in with his left foot. The keeper was aware that the Spartak number 10 was clean through. In the end, it didn't look too difficult to save. Well, could this be the weekend when the Soviet League takes a dramatic turn? No chance of Tbilisi winning the Soviet League Championship. But if this scoreline were to stay the same until the 90-minute mark, clubs like Dnipro and Dynamo Kiev would have real heart. They may be able to catch up Spartak Moscow at the head of the table. Basulev. Cherenkov. "15 minutes left of this match. Kulkov. Well, I think he needed to pass the ball somewhere along the line there. So many Tbilisi men back inside their own penalty area. Kulkov's job was never going to be an easy one. Morozov had a free header. Kecharov opted out of the challenge.
Уважаемые зрители, сообщаем порядок выхода с трибун. Первыми выходят зрители верхнего яруса, а затем нижнего.
Alexander Boki. Wide to Eugene Kuznetsov. That isn't a particularly good cross. It's a shame that Tbilisi have looked less impressive since they scored their goal. But a lot of their midfield players now are being pressed back into defensive duties. Free kick to Spartak. Away by Chikavani. Pasulko. Cherenkov. Ooh. It was Kacharava who was back defending to get the ball away. Shalimov. Morozov claimed he was fouled by his opposite number 4, Chidia. Chidia applauds him as if to say that tumble might have been okay in the theatre, but not on the football field. Reveshvili tries the hook over his head. I think the ball was already out of play. Well, is there any way back for Spartak Moscow? They're only a goal down. But Tbilisi, who looked impressive defending. Here's Shalimov, though. Tries his luck. Came off his own man. I think it came off Kuznetsov. Of course, as Spartak Moscow push forward for this equaliser, they might leave the odd hole or two at the back themselves, and maybe Tbilisi could score a second. Here's Shalimov, though, now for Spartak. Basulev joins the attack. Came off his opposite number 2, Keteshvili. Got Chichashvili. Well, he's picked the ball up inside his own half of the field. He scored from this distance on the 65th minute mark. Surely he's not going to do it again. Still has it, though. Morozov is going to foul him. Actually, that foul was coming about 15 seconds earlier. Morozov was determined to bring him down. And quite rightly, he gets the yellow card. There was a hint of he's not going to do it again about it, as Morozov meandered with him around the field and eventually hooked him to the floor. In boxing terms, I think that was a bit below the belt. They've all had a drink. They're all feeling a lot better. And they lead by goal to 0 to Tbilisi in the blue. And they have a free kick after that rather crude challenge on Gokchitchai-Shvili. He crosses the ball over. Reveshvili. Gabalier, who has possession now, has probably received more passes from his own players than shots from the opposition in this game. Chikivani. Svaiba. Zvanadze. Still no way through for Spartak Moscow, who must be getting desperate at this stage. Pasulko more in hope than in accuracy, but Katashvili will get it clear. Spartak Moscow aren't only chasing the league title, they're in the UEFA Cup and are midway through their first round meetings with Atalanta of Italy. Oh, here's Shalimov. There was 3 Tbilisi men round that ball as it bobbled its way through to goalkeeper Gabalier. That's the sort of investment they're making in this one-goal advantage. I'm sure this victory goes a long way to please the Tbilisi coach David Kipiani, who's given a lifetime of work to Dynamo Tbilisi, not only as a player but as a coach and a manager too. And maybe gives him hope that this Tbilisi side, who knows, in a couple of years' time might be sitting pretty at the top of the Soviet League themselves. Here's Kacharava. Ketsbaya, he's got a lot of space. And that was a long way over the top. It's nice to see these Soviet ball boys behind the goal, returning a second football to the goalkeepers very quickly after the ball goes behind. Keeps the game moving. I'm sure Spartak want to keep the game moving at this stage. They trail by 1-0 to Tbilisi in the blue. Dasulka now has it. There's a tired look about Spartak Moscow. They seem to have run out of ideas. But it's very difficult to play against a side who are happy to pack their defence. Keep a lot of men behind the ball. Here's Svanadze for Tbilisi. Boki. And here the wolf whistles again ringing around this stadium. Maybe it's worth mentioning that Dynamo Moscow are without Shmarov. Their forward scored 9 goals this season. He was injured in an international against Poland. Maybe they're missing that extra thrust in attack. But it has to be said that Rodionov and Shalimov have had a very disappointing day. So too is Cherenkov, who, hands on hips, thinks about that half chance that he might have had a moment ago. The ball out of play, goal kick to Tbilisi. Kacharava. Well, if this is to be a sensational result, you can't have asked for a better goal than to settle the tie. That run by Gotichai-Shvili was quite brilliant. There may be Spartak. We'll be asking 1 or 2 questions about the marking as Gotichai-Shvili brought that ball forward. We're inside the last 5 minutes. Here's Kulkov. Cherenkov. Now, can he pull it back? Svaiba managed to get it clear. And now Tbilisi have a lot of men forward. In fact, it's anywhere by Chidia. A late substitution for Tbilisi. Man who's coming off is Reveshvili, and Daraselia will come on. Got 3 minutes, Daraselia, to make an impact on this game. But I imagine that last 3 minutes will be spent defending this 1-goal advantage his team have. Muscovites beginning to trickle away into the evening. They've given up on their side. The referee wants to get things moving. Boki will take the throw. Been a disappointing day then for those Spartak Moscow fans. Now we're going to see a sensational ending to this match. 1-0 Spartak Moscow trail. And they're desperate now for an equaliser inside the last 2 minutes of this game. Basulev drives it over. Cherenkov rather was waiting for that one to drop onto his left foot. Pozniakov, Rodionov, Pozniakov again. It was anywhere will do for Ketashvili. A corner. Possibly the last chance for Spartak Moscow in this match. Kulkov will take the corner. Headed away by Kacharava, that defending, and now Tbilisi have a lot of men forward. They have a great chance here. Darasalia, the substitute now. He needs support. Might go all the way by himself. Here's Chadia. Chadia might score. That was desperate defending in the end by Basulev, who got back to get his body behind the ball. But Chadia could have made it 2-0 right at the death. Cherchesov will want to get that ball upfield as quickly as he can. Sviber. Still no way through for Spartak Moscow then. Pasulko. Shalimov couldn't get on the end of it. We're inside the last 15 seconds of this game now. Darasalia. Svanadze. Kacharara just lost the run of the ball rather. Spartak Moscow perhaps with one last effort now. Kuznetsov. Referee looking at his watch. Shot in from Kuznetsov again. And Tbilisi on the verge of a famous victory. Chikevani. The shot beaten away from Kulkov. Basulev. It's all over. Tbilisi have won. No wonder they're delighted. A most unusual result by any stretch of the imagination. And that's why those Tbilisi players are celebrating right now. Spartak 0, Tbilisi 1 the final score. And nobody can quite believe it. It means that Spartak Moscow's lead at the head of the Soviet Supreme League is cut now to just 5 points. Dnieper second, and Kiev ominously with 2 games in hand, now third. But we leave you tonight with a remarkable game settled by a remarkable goal. Goodbye.